Hi guys, I am Rotaract Rashi Chawla. I'm the Board of Director for Professional Development, and today we have with us a special guest. Please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Namrata Mehta. I'm a qualified nutritionist, masters in dietetics. I've been practicing since last 18 years in the field of nutrition and dietetics.
So we are doing our podcast under health concerns that teenagers want to ask. Let's start with the first question. So a lot of teenagers don't have the time to sleep and assignments. So how to cure that sleep deprivation?
Okay, so sleep is today a really challenged thing we have been facing, not only adolescent, we've been facing in young kids also, and geriatric, like the elderly people as well. Here the thing is that the stress which is there of submitting anything or completing a task, the stress is what is inducing your sleep deprivations. So first, the key to it is like time management first. So we know that we don't have time, that's why we don't sleep. That's an excuse, I would say, because we have a lot of other things that we are actually doing, like scrolling our phones, watching our Netflix, all our series. So if we are not compromising on any of that, right, at least we should prioritize. That's the first thing, that we need to at least cover our 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Okay, so earlier it was like an 8 to 9 hours of sleep. Now we have titrated according to the needs of the generation. Right. Let it be to at least 6 to 7 hours, but at a core sleep. Okay, now there are many cases where the person doesn't have sleep because of the ongoing issues going on in the mind. So that we can connect nutritionally to some of the nutrients, names say magnesium, selenium. So which if we just say the core sources of them, so there are a lot of magnesium tablets which are running on these days as well. Yes. So young generations adapt very easily to them first. Okay, but through dietary sources also, if we go ahead, we have got a lot of simple ingredients like nuts, like almonds, walnuts, some seeds basically. They are so high in the levels of magnesium. So let's not talk about leafy vegetables and all, which will not lure the young generations. Yes. But of course, so nuts and these seeds can be a very easy go to handle your sleep deprivations and of course prioritizing sleep.
Okay, that is actually very informative. So recently, this is one of the questions that we received, that people are having like constant cold and a lot of stomach ache with that.
Okay. So cough and cold relatively is very high today because of a lot of construction works going on. So pollution is one factor which is not in our hands.
Right.
Secondly, the our acquaintances to foods that we have got. So a lot of pesticides sprayed on these foods.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are an indirect way of giving you all the issues with your throat linings. Okay. That indirectly infuses the issues with your common cold or cough and cold. And same pesticides when they enter into your digestive system. Okay, so they roll these issues with stomach aches, okay, or vomitings, or maybe in young generations, in young girls, we have a lot of issues with their cycles. Okay, so these all are hormone infused things. Okay, so you can relate with the pollution, with the things. So the remedy to that, so now we've got the cause. The remedy to that is eat lots of fresh. That's always there, but whenever we are eating them, like fresh fruits are always good, leafy vegetables are always good, but always try to have a good wash to them, basically a warm water wash. Okay. To whatever fresh fruits, whatever fresh vegetables. Okay. Try avoiding raw juices. Okay. Okay, have it in the raw fruit form, but give a warm wash, like just soak them in warm water and remove it out. Just blanch all your leafy vegetables, which would be good for removing all the pesticidal effects on it. And because recently there was a study which was showing that a lot of rat poison is just sprayed on because of apples. If you see, for an example, apple you get all around the year now. Yeah. Okay, so they put it into cold storage or they store it anywhere. So wherever these fruits and vegetables are being stored, of course rots are going to be there. Okay, so why aren't these fruits being attacked by rats? Correct. So the thing is, they are all being sprayed with the pesticides, with the rats don't attract on, and we are unaware of it, and we just eat it off.
Damn.
So that's not. It's not. Yeah, it's scary, but it's much needed to be brought to the notice of the young generations.
Makes
Because
sense.
we are like, now generation is like that who are very health conscious. Oh, I'm eating an apple a day.
Yeah.
Okay, but then apple has to be well washed, or maybe just remove the peel and it. It's okay if we are out of that fiber of the skin, but we've got the inner strength of
Damn, that is crazy. Apples भी सोच के खाया पड़ेगा.
it. Actually.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. As you said, like fiber and protein. So protein is very, I feel, easily available to non-vegetarians, chickens, eggs. What about the pure vegetarians? Like, what would you recommend a source of protein for pure vegetarians?
Okay, but when we talk about proteins nowadays, again youngsters, they jump off to commercial protein powders which are very readily available. The second option is the high protein bars,
Yeah.
the protein snacks, the chips. So these are the easy hands-on. When I come to my feel, like back to our roots and through our kitchen. Okay, so proteins from the kitchen, I talk it
Yeah.
like that for vegetarians also. So protein from the kitchen, all the milk and milk dairy products.
Okay.
Okay, so rather it is paneer, curd, yogurt, buttermilk, milk. Milk basically go from cow source, so that we are
Right.
less on fats. So milk and milk products is the one key. Second is all the nuts and the oil seeds. Okay, so that is there. Then in the third category, we consider the pulses. So
Okay.
your simple rajma, chole, chana,
Right.
very high in fiber as well, along with the proteins, and soya bean, coming to a
Right.
very highly talked upon food. So soya bean in the form of beans, the soya flour, the soya nuggets. Okay, so this is also a very good source of protein. But for the soya bean, you always have to keep it in a bracket that any person who is having issues with thyroid related issues,
Okay.
or in girls, young girls having menstrual issues like a PCOS kind of a situation, we try to keep them away from
Soya bean? Okay.
Yes, because soya bean has got a lot of interruptive issues
Okay.
which handles the hormones wrong. So just don't stick to only soya bean as the protein source if the person is having some issues. But if the person is metabolically all fine, soya bean is also a good source. All the pulses, nuts and oilseeds, milk and milk products have enough amount of proteins. Now when to incorporate this protein is very important in vegetarians, because the
Okay.
quantity of protein is less in all of this compared to the non-vegetarians that you
Non-vegetarians,
see.
right.
So the idea is to incorporate any of these food items in each of your meal
Okay.
to make the resources complete. So right from the first time in the morning, like immediately you wake up your day and have some almonds or maybe some seeds, and incorporate some peanuts or something in your breakfast.
Okay.
Incorporate a fruit, or maybe again some mixed seeds like pumpkin or sunflower in your mid meals.
Okay.
Lunch may you have your dals and your staples. So each and every meal should comprise a small section of any of these ingredients, and you are done with your protein requirements.
Okay, that's perfect. Actually, that's like a proper meal plan that you said that I think everyone can use.
Absolutely.
So that is like a lot related to health problems related to the stomach, the gut. What about like how to reduce hair fall using a simple diet? Like hair fall होता है, बहुत basic है, but like
Yes.
how to? What is the solution to it?
Okay. Hair fall again related to two different factors. One is under our control, the other is not.
Okay.
So a lot of environmental issues that we discussed, a lot of chemicals in the shampoos, and so that very less of oiling that has been happening these days with the
Okay.
teenagers.
Yeah.
So the hair care has become weak that way. So we have time to rush to the salon and do something to
Yeah.
our hairs, but not a basic remedy. Stress is there, and when we come to diet, you all must be knowing a very good component which is related to your hair fall is biotin. Okay, so biotin is the component that takes care of your hair fall, your hair cares, your hair follicles.
Okay.
So we have to include a lot of biotin related foods in our thing. Now what are these biotin rich foods? So again I come to the point, which are seeds.
Okay.
Okay, so the black sesame seeds, the
Yes.
hemp seeds, the sunflower seeds,
Okay.
avla.
Okay.
So raw forms of a raw avla a day, adding spinach or leafy vegetables to increase the iron content in a day, adding these seeds into your routine, like just as a mouth freshener after your meals, just have a a chunk of mixed
Right.
seeds which
Yeah.
includes sesame seeds, flax seeds. मतलब काला तिल फ्लैक्स सीड ऐसे भी मिलता है, ले लो,
हाँ,
चबा
right,
लो,
right.
and you are done with your vitamin requirements also.
It's just that easy.
It's that
Like कितना
easy.
complicate करके रखा है hair fall को. It's just too much to deal with.
Correct.
Apart from hair fall, like how to deal with cluster headaches that like occur daily in teenage. अभी तो it's like very regular.
Okay, so cluster headache basically is a relatively much relations with your sleep apnea. Okay, so a lot of sleep deprivations, a lot of stress, a lot of projects that are running in their
Right.
heads. So the deadlines, the completions, not in teenagers, even in corporate world, people fetching
Right.
targets. So we have issues with cluster headaches. So hydration is the key to cluster headache.
Okay.
Okay, so keep yourself hydrated. At least drink 8 to 10 glasses of water in a day. Okay, add a lot of fruits.
Right.
Basically depends on the season, but add a lot of moisture related fruits, melons, watermelons, citrus fruits, your grapes.
Okay. Yeah.
So they are an inbuilt form of it. Again, adding a glass of buttermilk every day
Okay.
to your system, that
Yes.
will help cleanse your system, that keeps the system cooled up.
Okay.
Okay, so these are simple tactics which we have been doing in our childhood, and we were
Okay.
never having any
Yeah.
issues. Ever since day we have stopped doing that because we are out of the clutch of our mothers, and then we are doing, and we are basically.
How much exercise you need in a week? Weekly कितना exercise करना चाहिए for a person to
I
be
would
fit?
talk on a daily basis.
Okay.
You need exercises daily.
Okay.
Okay, so that is another boost that helps your immunity grow. Okay, so exercise, I don't mean that you have to hit the gym daily.
Okay.
It doesn't mean that you have to be a swimmer and you have to be a runner and go for a marathon race. Okay, but your simple exercises, and it could be according to your own love,
Okay.
your passion.
Okay.
So maybe a person who is more into dance can dance and she's exercising. A person who likes to be on sports, so just can be playing badminton or football or any games as
Right.
such, is a form of an exercise.
Yeah.
Walking around, if a person is in love with music,
Yeah.
okay, just put on your music and just take a stroll for 15-20 minutes in a day.
Right.
So a minimum of 20 to 30 minutes of a walk in a day is walk, I would say, for the ones who are not into any other sections
Okay.
of the day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your simple skipping, running, cycling, whatever sports, whatever recreational activities are you in,
Okay.
you can. So if a person is really very busy, just put on some music and take a stroll in the house.
Yeah.
But on a daily basis, a 20-minute to 30-minute of a physical activity
Okay.
is needed. For a person who is into corporate, I would say just get up and drink a glass of water is also a form of exercise for you.
Yeah.
Because they are just sitting in
Yeah.
front of a device and
Yeah.
sitting the whole day. I would not encourage for them to fill up a bottle for you. Don't fill up the bottle, get up and every time go and drink a glass of water.
Okay.
At least for that 10 times you will get up, okay, to have 10 glasses of water.
Yeah.
So that is also a small basic hint to it.
Makes sense. Okay, that was actually really informative and great. That is all the questions we have for you, but something specific or anything that you would like to address to the teenagers?
Oh god, teenagers gonna kill me. Okay, so I have one thing in very important to bring it to your notice is be yourself. That's more important. Don't get carried away with your friends, or probably try to be an motivation for someone. For that, I would always highlight a very high intake of caffeine for these generations.
Okay.
A lot of cafes have been opened up
Yeah.
and throwing a lot of different forms of coffee. So some in
Right.
the form of cappuccino, some in the form of black coffee,
Right. Right.
Caffeine is the basic thing, correct? So
Okay.
caffeine is also adding to the oxidative stress that we have been
Okay.
uninvitingly adding to our system,
Okay.
which we actually don't need.
Yeah.
So try to stay away from those high caffeine foods which are really not needed for your system. They not only add oxidative things to your system, but it also adds to an interference with the absorption of all the good minerals and vitamins that we've been talking
Okay.
all this time.
Okay.
Okay, so if you say that I've been having everything, I've been having enough of leafy, I've been having enough of seeds, I've been having enough of fruits,
Right.
non-veg, so I'm good with everything, but again my levels are down. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's a hidden thing which is caffeine there
Caffeine.
in the form of your cappuccino, in the form of your cold coffees, the fraps, and I don't know what else are available in the thing. So in a nutshell, they
Yeah.
are all hampering the good effects of them. So खुद तो बुरा है, but दूसरों को भी handle नहीं करने दे रहा है. He's
Okay.
not allowing the other minerals to get into the system because it is adding a block there.
Thank you so much for your time. We
Thank you.
really appreciate.
Thank you.
So that was it for our Health Concerns podcast. Thank you so much.